together. Can we act like we like each other, please?
Like each other.
We're at the Sequoia National Park. Beautiful. Give me your best tree pose. You're a grove right now. There we go.
Here we are in this park with the giant sequoias that are just so powerful. Like powerful beyond measure. And yet we are charged, puny as we are, with being the guardians of this land. And that is a responsibility that I've always felt really strongly.
I'm so excited to get to sing and make music somewhere like this is really, whoa, such a privilege for me.
I try my best, this I know.
My name is Scout Willis, and I'm a musician and an artist and a lover of nature.
Are you putting on a face? Are you working on your worth? Are you busy holding space? Will you pick her up at 8? It ain't like you gotta work. Well, you're so good at your feelings that they're buying even when you're sailing out. Put my Venmo on the wall for the girls that you can talk to now. I'm so proud. That's what you need. Been a little too polite, watching every single word. Remember when we had that fight? 'Cause I'm such a little flirt. Well, I love that you feel so free. Does she know that you've been calling me? You feel alone, you're still alone. You can blame me if that's what you need. You can blame me if that's what you need. You can still call at 4 in the morning. There's someone in my bed, so I might ignore it. The door is closed, but you're still important, babe. Anyway, you can blame me if that's what you need. You can blame me if that's what you need. You can blame me.
Okay, Dawson.
Pretty awesome, right?
Amazing voice. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Beautiful.
What's your name?
I'm Scout Willis. Hi, you guys. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Amazing.
That's good. All right, let's wrap on this song. Let's everybody grab our stuff. We're gonna head back down the trail a little bit.
Hey, Scout.
Yeah.
Could you walk down in the middle? This looks like something out of a fairy tale movie.
There's always a process of finding yourself, and I feel very lucky that mine came through performance. every show. It started with house shows, bars, record shops, venues. I did a pub tour in Ireland. Like any show that anyone put in front of me, I would play, just because it's my greatest joy in the whole world.
That's a nice perch.
Wow.
Ryan, can you handle that guitar?
Yeah.
Last night, you held me as I cried. Told me it was alright, and it was. Wasn't the first time you made me feel seen, but I think it was the first time I started to believe that you could love me even when I'm a mess.
This is a good grove.
That you could love me with all the feelings I possess.
So Kyle just asked me when I started performing. And it was when I was a kid, because we used to perform at little dinner parties that my parents were having, and then we would have these big extravaganza like talent shows. But I would just wander around the backyard singing when I was a kid. So in a way, this is sort of a more substantial version of my very first performances.
Do you think Little Scout should love this place?
Oh my God, Little Scout is loving this place. She's here. I got inside those trees earlier, and the child part of me that recognizes a fort when I see one just goes absolutely nuts. There's something about the scale of it that just feels unquestionably ancient and perfect in its burnedness and its imperfection.
I guess forests in general, depending on the forest type, have their own kind of unique history with fire. So sequoias need fire. Their cones are semi-serotinous, which means they have like pitch, sticky fluid that trees produce that fuse the cone together. So the fire heats up those cones and actually kills the cone, but that allows them to open up and release their seeds.
You might walk around in a giant sequoia grove and see all these fire scars and think, oh, maybe that's a bad thing for these trees, but they're incredibly resilient. They have very thick bark at the base. Sometimes it could be a foot thick. So each tree that's growing out here has seen a lot of fire and has a lot of just history in its bark that you can see just by looking at them.
How old do you guys think this one is?
Are we prices writing this?
308.
Yeah.
11308 is what it just told me.
Sometimes you can see entire holes through giant sequoias, and they can survive that. They can, lose almost, more than 90% of their foliage and still recover from that. So they're here and have been growing here for a long time for a reason, because they're incredibly resilient trees.
Oh, the pine cones are tiny. This is the pine cone of the giant sequoia.
Small but mighty. They're like, we're big enough. We don't need to.
We are fine.
They're like, we got nothing to prove.
We're here today because we're partnering with the National Park Service for the park's reforestation and seed banking efforts. Basically, what we're doing is we're climbing to the tops of the trees and collecting giant sequoia cones from the trees to bring down and then take to a nursery for processing, and then they're stored for future use by the National Park Service.
To be even like the smallest tiny contributor to the perpetuation of this species is, one of the more important things I may ever be involved in my entire life.
Dude, when'd you get that?
2 weeks ago. About that life. Next level tree dork. This is the apex of tree climbing. This is the pinnacle. Getting into tree climbing, it's like, well, someday maybe find yourself in the largest trees on Earth. And it's one of the things that inspired me to become an arborist. Things like this even exist in the world.
We have kind of 7 trees today that we're going to be working in. 3 of them are kind of across the road, and then 4 are kind of farther down that way.
Howdy! Everyone just calls me Mars. Mars is short for Marisa. What makes this a really cool gig isn't just the ascension of the trees, but the people that end up coming out. So everyone here is here for the right reason.
Yeah, what are you working on today?
I can't hear you. I got a bucket over my head.
What are you hunting today?
Right, we're hunting trees.
Giant sequoias are very tall trees. Some of them can be, more than 300 feet tall. To get access to them efficiently, we shoot blunt-tipped arrows up and over tree branches, trailing fishing line, to establish your first climbing path into the tree. One of the things that I really love about working in giant sequoias is how they just have this ability to take me out of myself and my everyday life and my small, trivial problems and kind of see things from a much bigger perspective. Climbing an organism that's been growing in the same place for thousands of years is a really humbling experience, and it just makes me realize how much I care about them and the natural world and how I want to do my small part to try to protect them and make sure that they're growing in the future.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Each of these have a question on them, and so everyone has to pick one, like tarot cards. Honestly, this one's been calling to me the whole time. Name any 3 people you'd want to bring with you on a trip to a national park, and why?
Okay, well, if we weren't here, right? 3 dream people. It could be anyone in the world.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Okay, who would be fun in a national park? It would be young...
anyone.
Young Paul Newman, young Steve McQueen, and young Marlon Brando. And me in a park, in this park, camping together.
Chopping wood.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not chopping the trees down.
Not the sequoias, but ostensibly doing masculine, beautiful things so I can just watch them move in their gorgeous 60s clothing. God, I'm such a feral child.
What is it?
Raisinets from the movie theater.
Not the raisinets in my bag.
All over my headphones. Hold, please.
Yeah, this is pretty long.
Feel good.
Now you're speeding. All right, cool. Take it as it goes.
Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandma Moon. City life is killing me, yeah. I gotta get out of here soon. I'll take the red road home. Spirit don't mind if I roam. Save me a seat at the Rainbow Lodge. I'm coming home soon. You think you know the way people are, just because you're pretty. You think you know the way the world works, it's 'cause you live in the big city. I'll take the red road home. Spirit don't mind if I roll. Save me a seat at the Rainbow Lodge tonight. I'm coming home soon.
I think rivers have always felt really sacred to me because there's an energy of cleansing and renewal that's able to happen. Even just now, when I when laid down in the rocks where the current was happening. There's a sensation that I've had in rivers my whole life where if I just take a second and I kind of connect with the energy, I can just let go of anything I don't need anymore. And I think water in general has always been a really sacred element to me. God, especially right now, it just seems so special to be able to come somewhere like this, and it feels really unimaginable to me actually that there are people who just can't understand how deeply important it is to protect spaces like this.
1, 2, 3, I'll take the red road home. Spirit don't mind if I roam. If I roam, save me a seat at the rainbow lodge, 'cause I'm coming home soon. Save me a seat at the rainbow lodge, 'cause I'm coming home soon. Save me a seat at the rainbow lodge, 'cause I'm coming home soon.
Today I'm here exploring the forest with my daughter and her friends. The work that I do is sketching in nature and writing meaningful explorations of what I'm seeing and feeling and sensing. I make my journals. What I draw in here is not meant to be artistically perfect or scientifically accurate. I'm just here transcribing my conversations with, I call them conversations with nature, right? Nature's always speaking to us. And if we slow down and pay attention, we can capture those little tidbits, of wisdom. It's been studied that people who keep journals are more emotionally aware, which can help you be much more resilient in life.
I think it's really important to be with yourself, being able to be with yourself and not just constantly connected to everybody. I mean, I don't think we were meant to be connected to everybody and everything 24/7, pretty much 100% of the time, and just being still is just such a special thing.
I live in the canyon, and I live by myself, writing songs for the man who will be my love. He's the man that I'm dreaming of.
I don't know if for everybody music and nature are connected, but for me they certainly are. I'm not a creature of one world. I'm not just a city person. I'm not someone who can live totally off the grid yet. And so the juxtaposition of each thing creates a contrast inside of me that helps me locate balance and true north for myself.
Come find me, darling. Be mine for always. away.
I think nature is endlessly inspiring for music. I think you can find little melodies in the way the trees move and sway in the wind. I think you hear a bird sing. I mean, that's a tale as old as time. Music is this universal language, and we're speaking with nature, and nature is like the oldest conversational partner when it comes to music.
You grow up, you start playing shows, and then there's always like that next thing. I remember the first time I was like, the House of Blues, like that's what I made, and I played the House of Blues. And you like do the next thing, you're like, you know, in a stadium, and then there's like tens of thousands of people, and there's always these dream venues, and like none of them compare to that. You never get to see that. I mean, Red Rocks is a beautiful place, but like with these views, no way.
Yeah. Okay, I thought singing on the log earlier was the coolest show I've ever played, but actually this is the coolest show I've ever played. This is a song from my first record. It was the first single we put out. This song is called Love Without Possession.
It's hard to know I'm the one who has your heart, but some girl might get the other parts that used to be mine too. And I'm learning to love you from afar, by which I mean across the bar. You're so beautiful. I'm working on accepting love without possession. I'm trying to love you without obsessing. I know you're still in love with me, the way I'm still in love with you. What are we gonna do? How will our love flow? I'm working on accepting love without possession. I'm trying to love you without obsessing. But oh, it's hard sometimes. And I just want you to be mine.
Sometimes you're feeling a certain way and you're just kind of like handling stress and moving through things, and you don't realize until something magical and unexpected alleviates it that you needed so badly to just escape the nature for a little bit. And I just feel so happy. I just got to play all day with my friends and sing in one of the most beautiful natural places I've ever been.
I'm working on accepting love without possession, because you're my future but not my present. 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 Might be my future but you're not my present.
Leave no trace and leave things better than you found them is something that I really take into my life.
We're out here in Sequoia National Park doing some volunteer work in this beautiful meadow. Got all the Parks Project staff here to do some habitat restoration.
What nature gives to us, so deeply generous. The least we can do is clean up after ourselves, honestly.